If your LinkedIn headline is just your job title, along with a list of keywords that you think you need to be found by recruiters and hiring managers, I hate to say it, but you're kind of blending into the background. Now, the good news is a tiny tweak, literally just a few words, can help turn it into a quiet flex that gets you noticed without feeling like you're screaming for attention. So today I'll walk you through exactly how to tweak your headline so it does the heavy lifting for you. No cringy self-promotion, no try-hard energy. And if you want more low-key ways to stand out at work, hit subscribe and follow along. Now, I want to start off with a mistake I often see when it comes to LinkedIn headlines, and this is what you're likely doing wrong about your headline right now. And I'm going to give you a very tangible example of a marketing manager. And this could look something like marketing manager, problem solver, team player. Now, at first glance, this looks like it ticks all the boxes and is likely what recruiters and hiring managers are looking for in a marketing manager to join their team. But what's wrong with it is it just blends into the background. It's forgettable because it's too vague, it says nothing about you, and it has zero personality, zero edge. And for my taste, it has way too many corporate buzzwords in there. So this could be any marketing manager out there. It doesn't give them anything about your secret sauce, what you bring to the table, what you do differently. And that is exactly what we want your LinkedIn headline to do. So keep listening. So here's the fix I want to offer you, and it's called the Quiet Authority Framework. And this isn't going to revolutionize your LinkedIn headline because that is not what you need. You do not need some fancy headline that is going to be unnatural to you, doesn't sound like you, and is going to make you feel awkward on LinkedIn. What this does is it tweaks your headline. It gives it a little bit of an upgrade to really show your personality and what you do differently. Here's a framework that you could use. It is your job title, and you keep that fairly as it is, so it stays searchable and it is what recruiters and hiring managers would expect to see when they look for somebody like you. But then you add to it what you actually do in a more unique way. This is where you bring in some personality, some flavor, some of how you approach things differently. An alternative framework could be your job title and then the transformation that you create. This could be a from to, a how you take people from A to Z, how you approach things slightly differently than others do. And more often than not, that difference will lie in your quiet ways, in your introspection, in something that's just unexpected in your industry, in your function, or within your team. Let's look at some examples of how this framework comes to life, starting off with the marketing manager that we already introduced. Now again, the example that is kind of meh is a marketing manager, problem solver, team player. Again, because it is just vague and forgettable. How can we upgrade this? It could sound something like marketing strategist, turning data into stories that sell without the fluff. Now, there's a couple of reasons why I really like this. Number one, it really touches on what a marketing manager's job is. And it acknowledges the fact that it is not just pretty pictures, comms, and creative. It is also taking data and being data-driven and turning that into meaningful insights and stories that sell. Plus, it gives it a little bit of an edge with the addition of without the fluff. You can just tell that this person is dedicated, results-oriented, and down to business. And that is what we want to create with that title, is a little bit of a picture, a more tangible version of who this person is and what they bring to the table. Another example I want to bring is for a UX designer. And an example or a headline that doesn't really work here is something like UX designer, passionate about creating seamless user experiences. Now, I can tell that this is already a little bit better, but why doesn't it work? It's because it's generic and overused. You will often see something like this for UX designers talking about seamless experiences. And this word seamless has just become too much of a buzzword for my taste. It doesn't really stand out in the crowd. So how can we tweak this headline to make it more memorable. With the quiet authority formula, it could sound something like this: UX designer, I make digital experiences feel like second nature. Now, the reason why this works is it touches on a very common pain point in that industry, is making something feel like second nature. It speaks directly to the client that UX designers want to attract. So this is why it feels like something that could be a lot more powerful, a lot more tangible for UX designers. Now, a third example I want to give you is in the field of HR, for an HR professional. And the headline that you will often see on LinkedIn could be something like HR specialist, people-focused leader, talent acquisition expert. Now, there's a couple of elements in there that just scream corporate jargon and buzzword, like the people-focused, talent acquisition expert is obviously an experience that is going to be helpful and meaningful for somebody like that. But if you want to position yourself as somebody who knows how to do talent management and also leans into some of the problems that arise in talent management, it could sound something like this: HR strategist, building bridges between talent and business with a lasting impact. Now, this kind of acknowledges that this person knows their stuff. They have experience in talent management, and they also know that there is often a disconnect between the business side of things and then talent management. And how to combine the two, how to bridge the gap, is something that organizations are really looking for, and are looking for in talent acquisition partners and HR specialists to join their teams and organizations. So this is something that can help you stand out, that gives more flavor, and also alludes to a person that just kind of knows their stuff and can bring a lot of value to this organization or business. Now, one thing that is very important for me to mention here is that this headline should be written for you, not for the algorithm, not for a recruiter, not for a hiring manager. The words that you choose should reflect who you are, what you stand for, and what you bring to the table that is slightly different than anyone else. And so it takes a little bit of time to find the right words and to make it something that is truly unique to you. And so I want the words to feel like something that you would say, something that you could easily bring across in a conversation too, and not make it too over the top, too fancy, too much of something that you wouldn't really be using in real life. I feel like, especially for introverts and more quiet people like me, this is what makes or breaks a LinkedIn headline. It has to feel genuine. It has to feel like something that you're proud of, that you would want others to read, that you would want others to discover. And then it's also going to help you stand out. It's also going to make you memorable. And it sells the person that you truly are. Now it's over to you. I want you to upgrade your LinkedIn headline with what you've learned today, with the quiet authority formula. Give it a try. Acknowledge that it's going to take a little bit of back and forth to get it right. If you're watching on YouTube, you can drop your headline in the comments and I'll give you some suggestions for how you can improve it and tweak it further. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. If this resonates with you, please share it with somebody who could use it too. And if you want more low-key ways to get noticed at work without extroverting, without pretending to be someone you're not, you're in the right place. And I hope that you tune in next time. See you there.